So I first learned about outreach and aid to the Americas probably about 4 years ago. Teo was a member at our church, had recently started coming, and so began to learn a little bit about him and the organization, and just found out what their focus was, their vision, and so I've been supportive ever since.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about your role and your involvement with the ministry.
So I am a board member. I've been on the board for 3 years. We have a few meetings a year for different reasons, and so I just come to basically give support in that way and look over financials and talk about vision and purpose and those types of things, just to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Excellent. How would you describe the vision or the mission or the heartbeat of Outreach Aid to the Americas?
Yeah, so as far as the vision, the mission, the heartbeat of the organization, I think it is very much Christ-centered and wanting people ultimately to come to know God, and they do that through humanitarian need and aid around storms or just different needs that people have in life, and so they come alongside people. They will help them with little business ventures and things to help them to be able to provide for themselves. They'll also help with humanitarian need, aid, also with freedom of religion type issues and matters, democracy, things that really are needed in Central America, the Caribbean, and different parts of the world.
Very good. So take your microphone, flip it out a little bit, just so it's kind of off on the outside of it. Just,
I had a feeling.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, good. So
Your shirt's kind of bunching up right there. Yeah, okay.
that's good. Excellent. Very good. So how would talk about evangelism, discipleship, how important it is to reach these nations with the gospel and make disciples?
Yeah, so the great thing is that all the projects they do, the efforts they do, is through the local church in all these different countries. And so there really is an emphasis on working with local pastors, church leaders, to help with all these different efforts. And the blessing is that the churches, the pastors, the leaders get to utilize these different efforts to help meet the needs of the people, and really for the purpose of introducing people to God, sharing the gospel with them so that they might know Christ.
Very good. Every ministry needs support. Talk about prayer support, then financial support, volunteer opportunities. How do you go?
Yeah, so OAA definitely does a great job of trying to raise support, and the most primary and obvious need would be that of prayer support. They need people praying for them, for their leadership, just for vision to make sure that they're in concert with what God is doing in the heart of God, and also the need for financial support. God has been good and gracious to them in recent years, and so the more people that are praying, it seems like God is just doing a greater work in that regard.
Very good. So why do you do what you do?
I do what I do as a board member, one, because I love Teo and I consider him a friend, and Mary, she's fantastic and wonderful as well. Actually, she's better than him. But anyways, so it's really, it's through a friendship. Teo has been a great supporter of the church. I mean, he is dialed in and serves the Lord faithfully in our church, and is very much about discipling God's people. But in conjunction with that, it's because I believe in the organization and what they do, and using human need to be able to introduce people to God and share the gospel.
Good. Encouraging word for pastors out there. What would you say to somebody who's considering the ministry and being a pastor?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, say that again.
Being a pastor, somebody who's thinking about being a pastor, getting into ministry, what would you say?
Yeah, so someone that's considering going into the ministry or being a pastor, I would just encourage you by saying, it's a great thing. 1 Timothy 3 is clear that if you aspire to do such a thing, then that's probably God doing that work within you. And so keep praying and looking to the Lord, and study hard, read about pastoring, read about theology, doctrine, equip yourself to become the person that God wants you to be.
Very good. Final question, is there anything else the Lord put on your heart to share with us today?
Yeah, the final thing I would say is, just to have a heart for the organization. I encourage you to look into it, read their literature, get on their website, find out what they're about, as they really are trying to use this organization to impact people's lives for all sorts of humanitarian reasons, freedom of religion, democracy, but really to meet the just basic and general needs of people in general.
Awesome.